Hi boys and girls and moms and dads, my name is Miss Mona and we're going to talk today about a little bit about phonics and the joy of learning how to read and write and spell correctly. We're going to be using a method called the Writing Road to Reading that was developed by Romalda Spalding along with her husband, and they developed this way back in 1985, and it's been used very effectively to teach children and adults who don't know how to spell correctly how to read properly and communicate properly. This method works. A lot of the basis of this was written back in 1957, so this has been around for a very long time. Unfortunately, it's not been used for a very long time. Now, I've been teaching this method to my children for the last 20 years, actually a little bit longer, for the last 30 years, when I started homeschooling my children. And I searched high and low for a program to help because my daughter struggled to read. So I'm very excited about this program, and we're going to start by using cards to teach us the different phonemic sounds, and that's all part of phonograms. And phonograms and phonics teach us the sounds that the different letters make and some small combinations of letters. And once we can develop all that and learn all that, that gives our brain the building blocks that we need in order to read. Because with anything, you guys love playing with blocks and building things, and when we do that, we could do that with words. And once we learn how to do that with words, you can read, and reading is so much fun. It can take you to places far away, introduce you to ideas, and then you can write your own stories. Doesn't that sound great? All right, we're going to start first with this phonogram, which is A, A. Now you can see here that this letter is shown in two different ways, can't you? You can see that one right here, this letter here is how it appears in a book. What we have here is our first phonogram of A. Now you can see here that one letter looks a little bit different from the other. Now what the difference is that letters in a book are printed completely differently than the letters that we write. And sometimes that can cause us some confusion. So we're going to make sure that we learn what both look like and the sounds that those letters make. Now the first one that we're going to start with is the sound of letter A. When we read, we would say A, Those are all the different sounds that letter A can make. Okay, let's try that together. A, It's important that our mouth forms the letters correctly too. Okay, let's try that one more time. A, Good. Now the words that we would find that in are at, tape, want, and talk. Not every letter is going to be found in the beginning of a word, and it depends on where that letter is the different sound that can make. Okay, so we had A, The next sound we're going to work on is letter C. Letter C can make two different sounds. Letter A made 4, letter C can make 2. Those two sounds are k and sometimes s. And it changes if the next letter is an E, I, or a Y. Isn't that amazing? Letters are so cool. Let's try that again. K, and sometimes S, if the next letter is E, I, or Y. Now, we're going to try 4 sounds a week, working on 4 sounds, working on learning them, recognizing them, and writing them. Okay, our next letter is letter D. D. Letter D says D. Isn't that easy? Like daddy. Next letter we're working on is letter F. F says F. So we're going to be careful on how we place our mouth. Ready? There's letter F. Now, I'm going to be writing these letters for you so you can watch how they're formed. And while we write them, we're going to say them. Okay?